Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We got the mini microphone out here because I want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings 37-10 loss last night against the Los Angeles Chargers, and it's now a couple of losses in a row. Carson Wentz was even banged up, and now he's even still banged up, even more banged up. It's JJ McCarthy time, and I've got a lot of takes on this Vikings team because I hate it. I hate what I'm watching. It sucks. It reminds me of Gardner Minshew, a worse version of Gardner Minshew with the Indianapolis Colts a couple of years ago. It reminds me of Andy Dalton with the Carolina Panthers a year ago. It reminds me of Joe Flacco on any team in the last couple of years. Actually, that doesn't count because he led the Browns in the playoffs a couple of years ago, but you get what I'm saying. If anything, it's like Dalton in Carolina last year. I think JJ McCarthy needs to be given the starting opportunity, and I don't mean this as a rag on Carson Wentz in any way, shape, or form. I just think it's, you know what you're going to get with a backup QB who hasn't been a starter in like 4 or 5 years. So 33 years old, or actually I think he's still 32, about to be 33. The Wentz experiment happened. He had a nice win against the Cincinnati Bengals when JJ went down. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, it's just time to move on. So I want to talk about this game. I've got some notes, some observations from it. I don't usually make videos like this, but we haven't made any Vikings videos in the last couple of weeks because bye week, they've just been losing way too many football games recently. They're 3-4, and I don't like making negative videos, but I feel like, I don't know, let's give it a shot. So a couple of notes immediately. I just hate the Vikings offense right now. I just really hate it. There's some rumors, drama circulating the internet. Let me pull up the statistics from this game. 164 yards for Minnesota. They were down 21-3 in the first half, and Max Brosmer came in. The leading rusher for the Minnesota Vikings was Xavier Scott, who had 2 carries for 16 yards. It's so reactive. It's just a reactive offense. And even using like a more niche comparison, it feels like Josh Dobbs in Minnesota when Kirk got injured after Josh Dobbs' like first game where he lit it up for the Vikings. It's stale, it's dink and dunk, it's reactive. It's just not an enforcing offense. The run game isn't working. I know Brian O'Neill, the right tackle's hurt. I know the offensive line has some injuries and has had injuries this whole year. But still, they're 24th in rushing. They're 26th in rush attempts. They're third to last in sacks allowed. They're 25th in offensive penalties. It's just not working. And even in that football game, the first play of the night was Miles Price running it back for a decent yardage, and it got revoked for a holding. So the Chargers eventually, Minnesota doesn't score. They punt it away. The Chargers get the ball. They score a touchdown. And on the next kick return, there's another penalty. What was it? Illegal formation on the second punt return. Pick 6 got overturned. At the end of the day, it was only 7-0 Chargers after the first quarter, and the Vikings just got rid of the run game. They never went to it. I get it when you're down 21-3 at halftime. That's what you got to do. But the drama circulating is because, the head coach Kevin O'Connell said that J.J. McCarthy's ankle is not 100%, and they didn't want him to lose confidence playing against the Chargers when he's not 100%. And then he had, I forget who it was, J.J. or Jordan Addison. McCarthy was on the bench, and people were saying he kind of like moved like Lamar. And how is that ankle? A lot of people think as well that Kevin O'Connell, this is a whole nother thing, and I'm sorry if it's confusing. There's a lot of people who think Kevin O'Connell's protecting J.J. McCarthy by just saying he's probably healthy enough to play, but they're not going to let him play because of confidence, and they don't think he's quite ready. There were people who thought that after heading into week 1, they were saying J.J. McCarthy's not ready, and Kevin O'Connell's scared, and that's why the first half play calling was a lot of dink and dunk, a lot of stuff at or behind the line of scrimmage because they don't believe in J.J. McCarthy. He comes back, wins that football game, gets hurt against Atlanta, finishes the game, and whatever. But my point just is, it's essentially a rookie QB. Every time I say J.J. McCarthy's a rookie QB, everybody's like, no, he's not. What I would have thought the Viking season looked like with a healthy J.J. McCarthy is almost like what the Packers, I'm a Packers fan, did in Jordan Love's first year, where the Packers were like 3-6 over halfway through Jordan Love's first starting season, and then they went on a second half tear. And maybe JJ McCarthy wouldn't play like an MVP like Jordan Love did, and they wouldn't win a playoff game on the road against Dallas. But you get what I'm saying. They're rookies, and even like Andy Dalton getting when Bryce Young got benched last year and Andy Dalton came in, filled in a couple of games, looked good in one of them, and then he got in a car crash, and they went back to Bryce Young. And it took a couple of games for Bryce Young to get back into the swing of things. And then you look at the final 6 games for Carolina, and it's like, oh, Bryce Young looks good. We're Panthers fans, and now we're excited for this upcoming year of Bryce Young because he looked really good in the last month and a half of the season. I think something similar like that would happen and will happen with JJ McCarthy when he comes back healthy. Like, is Minnesota going to go 15-2 this season? I don't think anybody was predicting the Vikings go 15-2 this season. Should they have moved off Sam Darnold? Now that's the whole talk, is they shouldn't have moved past Sam Darnold. All right, they made a huge mistake. The Vikings made a huge mistake. Folks, if JJ McCarthy comes back at any point over a couple of weeks stretch in this season, looks like the franchise guy for Minnesota, maybe Darnold would help him win now. But JJ McCarthy, man, he's talented. He's a winner. We saw it week 1 against the Chicago Bears. I think that was one heck of an NFL debut, that come from behind road victory against the hyped up winners of the offseason, Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears. Defensively, 37 points isn't good. The run defense was not good. The run defense actually has not been that good this season. They had some personnel changes on that defensive line, maybe a little bit older. The Chargers scored their 21st third touchdown. It was 14-3, and then on the their final drive of the first half, they went and scored a touchdown. I feel like Brian Flores' defense put them, obviously the interception, but they had them in a position perfectly fine to win the football game. And then obviously in that fourth quarter, the floodgates kind of officially opened. They had 24, but up until that fourth quarter, and even up until the end of the first half, the defense was doing their job. And when you're not able, like the Vikings went 3 of 11 on third down. They had 34 yards of rushing, averaged 3.1 yards per carry. They had 160 whatever total yards of offense. Your defense is going to be out there on the field the whole damn game. That's exactly what we saw. And by the fourth quarter, they were gassed, and the offense wasn't putting up any points. And obviously, the game was just straight up over. So I think the Vikings are going to be perfectly fine. I think you're 3-4, especially now having an extra playoff spot. 9-8 teams get in, and it's a long season. And who does Minnesota have next week? I think it's Detroit, which is a tough matchup. They got Detroit, Lamar, Chicago, Green Bay, Seattle, Washington, Dallas, New York, Detroit, Green Bay to finish off this season. At this point, I'm putting in JJ McCarthy. I'm letting him have bad games. I'm letting him have good games. I'm letting him have bad quarters, bad halves. And that's what I'm doing. Whether it works or it doesn't work this season, I think JJ McCarthy, whenever he's 100% healthy, or even now moving forward, I think it's time to just start him, let him make rookie mistakes, and let him get through his rookie season, no matter what that outcome is. Because Minnesota's got a good team, obviously. The offensive line's getting healthier. I know there's still no Brian O'Neill at the right tackle spot, but I don't know, man. It's 3-4. The Vikings are 3-4. It's not the end of the world, and I think it's just definitely time to give the reins over to JJ McCarthy. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you like this style of content. I do try and do one of these every single week. People don't really watch them as much as maybe, a film video or even when teams win, but I don't know. I feel like it helps build a community. So thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the 3-4 Minnesota Vikings down below. We'll see you soon. Peace.